Nyangje Jimbo, Zurden Yumishan, Ogone, Molam Jimbo, Wajata, Bakar, Sunday Mato, Tomba Tuji, Janla Kisha, Woman Juji, Yangje Poptana, Telson Sanji, Gunjing, Ronsum Churkan, Zaba, Namisha, Surwande, Simian, Tomba, Shinji, Oh, yeah. So,
I would like to invite you, all of you from the Dharma Center, and all of you have come tonight, and I'd like to offer you a good evening, a tashi delay. And I am really so delighted to meet with you all again tonight. And so today I've arrived by train, and so there was a little bit of a delay on the train, and so possibly, so we ran a little bit late, and so probably that you were waiting a little bit for us, so apologies, the train just wasn't going anywhere. And so sometimes, you're in that kind of a situation, like, you know people are waiting for you, and you really want to get there, and you're thinking, oh, go quickly, people are waiting, and so that's the thinking, but, in the end, we're here, and, everything has worked out okay. And so Jimmy Rangjun has invited me to teach, and has invited me before to teach, and the subject was that he had in mind was the subject of Guru Yoga. And so here we are tonight, all gathered together, and so I will explain a little bit about the practice of Guru Yoga.
Oh yeah,
and so usually as practitioners, and for all of you gathered here today, you have likely received teachings from many lamas, received advice and pith instructions from many lamas, so it's likely that you all have some experience in this, and you've listened to some Dharma teachings. And so generally, whatever practice we might engage in, whatever practice we set out to do, it's important that we have three aspects to our practice complete. And that is the preparatory stage, the main part of our practice, and the completion. It's important that we have all these three stages complete in whatever practice we do. And so really this is the case for whatever we're doing, whether it's in our everyday activities that we're doing out in the world, or be it in our formal Dharma practice. There isn't anything that we shouldn't include these three stages, this preparatory main stage and the completion stage, because actually they're very important. And so first, as for the preparation, let's say, for example, if we take our Dharma practice as an example, if we at the outset have a good preparation and a good intention, we set a good intention and have this good preparation, then it's said that our practice will turn out very well. It will become a very meaningful, a very profound practice. And this first stage of preparation is really quite essential. So if we make this, if we take the example of the activity of eating, taking a meal, so at first what we need to do is we need to make the food, and we need to first wash the food and cut it and prepare it and prepare the amounts and so on. And these activities would be called this first stage, the preparation stage. And then after we finished gathering our things and washing them, preparing them, cutting them, cooking them, then comes the next part of actually eating the meal, of actually eating the food. And this is when we move into that second stage. And the second stage is the main part of the activity. So like the main part, second stage. And so then, so we chew it, and then we chew our food, and then we swallow it, and it goes down our throat, enters into our stomach, and at this point we finished eating. The main part is over, and we enter the third phase of the conclusion. And so if we look at these three stages, breaking an activity into three stages of preparing, actually doing the work, and then the completion, if we compare, if we make an example of an activity, this is how we would apply it to eating, for example.
Oh yeah, that 남진 then 알아서라 칼라가 되네 가서 그래. 좀 지섬 창고가 남진도 찍버려서. 알아서 그 냠는데라 양강서 그래. then 좀 지섬 되더니 가르스나데 야고지 되니 자상한테 창고가 옆받은 데서.
And so just as within this example of eating a meal, these really need all to be complete in order for the activity really to, take place. In the same way, in our practice, we need to have, in order for our practice to be completed well, to be done properly, we also need these three, the preparation, the main part of our practice, and a completion.
다든지 인디 다소 되니 가랑 속에 냠nen라 되니 가서 그래. 좀 지슴 창스 되니 다가서 다지 망아가 따르 되니 망아가 셰수세 거라. 셰피가 릭스 달라더니 저와 샘짓 담바스. 되니 우제 먹메 담바스. 지 호와 담바스. 다들 담바스는 그 지스는 세계여서 때 되니 개침보든 저거여서.
And so these three parts, then, we also need to have these complete within our practice. And how does it look like when it comes to, from the perspective of engaging in like a spiritual practice, our Dharma practice? Well, then the first stage is setting the intention of bodhicitta at the outset. So this would be that first stage in the preparation. And then the main part of your practice, free of reference point, single-pointedly focused on the main part of your practice. And then the end is the excellence of the conclusion of the dedication. So this is the preparation, the main part, and the conclusion as it in regards to our practice.
알아서 셔야 주대 간절했으나다 라미 남질고 꼬르텔라더니 가서 그래 더니 도디바지니 다든지 지기더니 시야 마도 다 뒤서고 마보지 시든지 말했어 대 시야를 있나 영 간서나 더니 당가서 주더니 시야비그 갑이난다 다더니 주 냠비그 갑이난다라 더니 되는 거라서 그 냠슬렘비그 갑 강당 강이나요 더니 consequently, that Jurmu Jism Sawa, Jiguanitani, and Rogo at the Kitchambores.
And so then today, the subject of the Dharma talk tonight is Guru Yoga. And so, as there's not a lot of time, then there's not a lot of time for me to go into this extensively. However, I will give a brief, a more concise explanation of the practice of Guru Yoga. But whether we're speaking about the Dharma, teaching the Dharma, or listening to the Dharma, and actually it's really whatever practice, whenever we're practicing and whatever we're doing, being listening to the teachings or teaching the Dharma, that it's important that this preparation, the main part, and the conclusion are complete.
근데 다때 다오게 가서 다 주무지 있음게 나니 당보대 간절했으니 저와 샘짓 담바서 저와 샘짓 담바서 때 가르스나 내가랑 속었더니 가서 그래 다더니 타파 친부의 주인 냠슬랭 괜지 있나 다때더니 메템 메바레스 메템 메바고 어떤 저거더니 냠는데스.
And so the preparation then in regards to the Dharma is the setting the intention of the mind of bodhicitta at the outset, setting this intention at the beginning. And when it comes to the greater vehicle, the Dharma of the greater vehicle, then this setting this intention at the outset is indispensable. We can't do without it.
근데 인디 나라서 그 추냠슬렘 받더니다. 가서 그랬더니다. 랑코나게 제대냠슬렘 봐 많이 봐. teni rang so chu nyamne chi bi ga la yang teni rang dun la mu pa teni mai ba teni ka so gore tan dor de na teni ta satang ga semji yong su tok pa de ge che ta teni ka so gore tang ita ta nyamne chi gi in sam ne ten re ga sa na teni ka so gore ta teni jan dun la mu pa ten ji gi yang go gore es.
And so for us then, how should we look at this? As practitioners, it's important that even though we may be practicing ourselves, we should set the intention that even though it is ourselves that are practicing, that is not solely for ourselves, but actually that we're engaging in this Dharma practice for the purpose of limitless sentient beings. So we should think that I am now going to engage in this practice for the purpose of all sentient beings. And this is the focusing on, this is setting the perspective of focusing for the purpose of others. Our perspective is based on others.
semje 그 측지 요하다니 semje 반의 잔든 시르스 semje 바데 가르르스나 되네 랑그 돈도 많이 봐 아니 전 semje 담제 그 돈도 임 받을더니 가르스나 되네 돈도 되네 냠는 제고야 다 되네 못 받던데 그랬더니 전부 임비 점선 될라더니 semje 반의 잔든 시르스니다 가서 전 semje 탐제 그 돈도 되네 가서 그래 냠는 제고야 하던 레지자가 요바레스.
And so it said in the ornament of realization that this setting this enlightened intent of bodhicitta, practicing for the purpose of others. The whole perspective of bodhicitta, of setting this intention, is for the purpose of others, as it says in the ornament of realization. And so what this means is it's not solely for our own purpose, but that we are doing it for actually accomplishing the benefit of others rather than just ourselves.
Dzogchen la mukpa asini tenu gu serni tang dan ba tela ta chang che gu sem sene te tenre la gu pares.
And so when we look at the mind of bodhicitta, there are two aspects to bodhicitta. That there is the compassion that focuses on others and the wisdom that focuses on gaining complete enlightenment. And so there are these two aspects to bodhicitta.
근데 인디다서다 뜻다위가 강화세 버렸더니 냠는 치바데 되니다 녀지 젠돈 라무 바다 되니 강화세 버렸다 뜻다위가 녀지 젠돈 그거니 키랑바 나랑서가 심진 탐제 그 돈주고 인선 담지바데 땅아랑서 키 랑바 잠지다 근데 그 담지와 잠지 그 누구 말이었어 근데 인디다서 나랑서 랑랑 소소근원이 투숨 군바야 버제고 그랬어. 투숨 군섬 군이 냠는 지달이나더니 라닐 상지고 조페 상지고 공바 접어야 된대랬어. 다 라닐 조페 상지고 공바 접 사비기 지텔라 당아랑 속에 샘진 탐지고 돈드는 게 접인 삼니 된다고 키랑바 나랑 속에 담제바데 된 접도 그래랬잖아. 상지고 공바 톱 산내 손데 나랑 속에 돈이 가르잖아. 키랑바 담제바데 접도 그랬어. 어떻든 이랬어.
And so for us to simply have the wish, the compassionate wish to accomplish, that focuses on others, with the wish to benefit others, it's not sufficient. Just this compassionate wish and wishing to accomplish others' benefit, even taking a vow to say, I will accomplish others' benefit. Actually, in order to actually be able to do that, then first what we need to do is gain the level of Buddhahood for ourselves. Without first having gained the level of Buddhahood for ourselves, then we won't be able to actually do as we had pledged to accomplish others' beings. But having then the second aspect of attaining the wisdom that focuses on attaining that full enlightenment for oneself. Once one has done that, then one will be able to accomplish exactly as one had pledged and be able to benefit all sentient beings.
Oh, yeah. That's 지sem바든지 차바이나 행아랑 속에 냠내 가를 드니 냠내 지바이나 대더니 전납 첨부 신드니 장 사파 네데 가르스나 타파 첨부게 냠는 드니 양한 타파지라 드니 그런 로트고요 같은 리레스.
And so this preparation stage that we are now speaking about, the excellence of setting the excellent intention of bodhicitta at the outset of our practice. So we should think that for the purpose of all sentient beings, I will attain perfect enlightenment. We should always hold this in our mind in whatever we do, and in our practice we should always think, I will attain enlightenment for the purpose of all sentient beings. And in this way, when we actually can engender such a mind and really cultivate this intention authentically, then actually the blessings that come from this practice, when we're holding the mindset of bodhicitta, are they're full of incredible blessings and incredibly profound. In this way, we then can properly and authentically practice in the way that we will be able to achieve this stage of enlightenment.
전적이 쳇더니 냠내 치송바이나 대가르스나더니 상지다 장저 선박이 뒤지 전적거더니 용다 세게랬더니 용 세게랬어 이나용 대타바 침부게 냠는 양 딱 봤더니 차트 그래베스나 대가래 가버렸어 차트 말했어
아니 디 택파 쳔포 아니 기 냠난 차게 요마레
타바 침부게 냠는 차트 말했어.
But however, what on the other hand, if we are practicing without this intention, without the intention that actually, with a compassionate focus on others, wishing to gain enlightenment for their purpose, well, it could be, for example, let's say we're practicing for the purpose of increasing our lifespan, of dispelling, sickness and disease and so on. If we do it for that reason, it's possible that we, may receive the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We don't, it's possible that we may be able to receive those blessings. However, this is not a practice of the great vehicle. It will not become a practice of the great vehicle without bodhicitta.
레인이 다더니 강서를 타바 침부게 된 냠nense 다 당보 다지시바나 용 지슴 그런 거다 당보 되는 당보 가서 리간다 보지 리바이나 되는 차르시야 보지 그러 봐 차르시야 보지 고아 나전 건가랑 속에 냠nen 되니 제발라 당보 가르스는 된다 강서 따와야 보지 왔더니 샘질 잠보지 된저게 되니까 지성고 그랬어 같은 저게 샘질 야포지 그때니 지선 송바이나 심지 자침부 될라때니 달링 알아서 냠는데 되니 자침부 작가가 됐어. 근데 인디 다서 다대가서나 동부 주로와 심지 담바 생기더니 주로와 되더니 근심 소파 야포지 고야 되더니 담보들이 스테케 침부를 했어.
And so within the greater vehicle, within the practice of the greater vehicle, to have these three complete are essential. And actually, if we think about it, if we set out to accomplish, whatever it is we might have a plan to do or something, we want to get accomplished, we need a good plan. We need a good plan in order to do that. And so what does that mean when it comes to practitioners? What is this good plan that we need? Well, first we need like the correct understanding, or we could call it the view. It's the wisdom of the wisdom of what needs to be understood. So first we need this, which is called the view. So we need to have the correct view, and then we need to have bodhicitta. And when we take these as a union, when we take these together as a union, this view, this wisdom of understanding and bodhicitta together, to the amount that we can cultivate this, then greater and greater becomes this magnitude of the profundity of the practice that one engages in.
다 무지 냠랭 값을 드니 다라랑 그 무지 냠랭 강당 강 냠슬랭 그 요바이나라 어때 때는 냠슬랭 ben나더니 돈이 그 따와다 니 당연전라서 받아 간저 지금 냠랭 지기요나 다데 무지 작아요레스.
And so then now I'm thinking about the main part of our practice, or within these three, the preparation, the main stage, and the conclusion. Then there are things like, for example, if we our practice is to practice within the view on emptiness, or whether it is to sit in samadhi, rest in samadhi, these would be considered the main parts of practice, the second stage. And so as far as the main part today, the main subject today is on the practice of Guru Yoga, and so I will say a bit about that here. And so when it comes to Guru Yoga, it's called the blessing of Guru Yoga, and actually in the practice of Guru Yoga, and this relies solely on having great devotion. So we can accomplish this blessing of Guru Yoga with only devotion. And within the secret mantra of Vajrayana, this practice of Guru Yoga is really one of the principal practices. It's considered extremely important. And so really we have this practice of devotion of Guru Yoga, and it can be accomplished simply through this one aspect, through our devotion, through our having this one aspect complete, simply through devotion. Whereas other practices, for example, such as creation and completion stage practices, there are other things that one brings into this and other things that one needs to develop and have complete within the creation and completion stage practices. However, with Guru Yoga, with this devotional Guru Yoga, one attains these great blessings and liberation simply by devotion, simply through devotion alone, merely through having devotion.
다더니 진럽 라미 남주를 세니 진럽 된 지그레다 말했으나 더니 다바 메송아이나 아니 진럽 지그 말해서 근데 이제 다 소가르스나 더니 진럽 근 지고데 가르레스나 아니 다바레스.
And so for us to really have this devotion, have faith, is extremely important. For it's said that without devotion, without faith, then the blessings will not enter. One will not receive the blessings. So in order to receive the blessings are received through faith.
Taba maybe Mernam la Karbuchun Munjong Tayas, Taba Minking Matalangaru Karbutan Chute, Gilatani, Chigre Vesanatani, Yungu Maresin, and some Victorias.
And so it's said that also within the Sutrayana as well, that through the an individual without faith, then the fortune of blessings will not enter. And so again, this is also spoken about in the sutra vehicle.
Ni Gurumuchek Sonyores, Yichi Shiji Tabi Chinlam Jigis.
Yichi.
Lo Tetsum Tana, Jisum Jerusalem. Yichi Shig Tapatega Kars Jegresena, Tegi Chilite, Marasobijila Chilam Jigres. Then Lo Tetsum Dantani Tarsoina, Lola Tetsum Meba, Tetsum Senago, Tetsum Dant Tarvaina, Marasobitani, Samdun Retugres, and Jesombares.
Guru Rinpoche.
And so Guru Padma Sambhava has said that through faith and devotion the blessings enter, and that when one is completely free of any doubt, any hesitation, when one is free from doubt, is separated from all doubts, then one can accomplish whatever one wishes. And so within the practice of Guru Yoga, this trusting faith, what's really necessary is trusting faith and devotion. So without this trusting faith and devotion, this is really the vehicle that allows the blessings to enter our mind stream. Without this vehicle of trusting faith and devotion, then it's said that there is no way for these blessings to enter.
Irmel Muki Datukis. Eva me patani, Muki you are me baser. Yumel Muki you are me batan, Yumel Muki Datuki, Dorjin Chang, Satum Jeresen, not the Nitsu Sonyers, the Jikin on Songares.
Dawakatsu?
Irmel Muki Datuki, Dawatuki, Dawatuki, Dorjin Chang, Satum Jeresen, not the Sonyers.
And this is also, this importance of faith and devotion is also spoken about within the Tantras. within the Tantras it's said that with unwavering faith, if one practices Guru Yoga with unwavering faith for 6 months, then one can achieve the state of Vajradhara.
Yeah. Attended indeed as no cars and also Muki, Jinny, Muki Jidali, Yamsalen Saga, Yamlan Chia, Yilsebora, Yitela Teneta Tenecata, Lama Asin, Titela Tenene, Lama Tela Country Yoresenatini, Savi Lama Sajita, GP Lama Asin, Zawata, GP Lama Tenegina, Lambanis Yena Degrees.
And so, we call this Guru Yoga, and so then the object of our devotion that we've been speaking about, the object of our focus of devotion then is the Lama or the Guru. And so, how should we think about the meaning of this? What does this mean when we say Guru Yoga, the practice of the Guru? And we can look at the Lama in 2 ways. Then there is the root Lama and the lineage lamas.
Churki lama, ni Churki lama, Kenduzongo, ni Lonki lama, Dorji Sembarwa, ni Churki lama, Pemanjoni, Tendra Ugu Karsenata, Kusum Lama La Sopa, Tendra Jaganata, Tesu Chetang Shena Karsenatani, Jibi Lama Asin, and the rest.
And then there are the 3 Kaya lamas. There is the Dharma Guru, the Dharmakaya Guru, Samantabhadra, the Sambhogakaya Guru, Vajrasattva, and the Nirmanakaya Lama, Padmasambhava. And when we talk about the 3 Kaya lamas, then this is, we're referring, when we say the lineage lamas, we are referring to these 3 Kaya lamas.
Tatani Karsana Rinpoche, Tatig, Soso Rara Latani, Damo Tosak Lamachi Yorvatani, Wandang, Longdang, Chilla Sopaga, Mono Chusamga, Garden Topic, Teni Savi Lama Partala, Teni Consagrata, Teni Jibi Lama, Savi Lama, Jibi Lama, Tatilla Zarjik Lama Asagis, Savatan Jibi Lama Asen.
And so then, when it comes to our root lamas, then, so all of you have gurus, all of you have teachers from whom you receive the instructions, the pith instructions, the oral instructions, also receiving empowerments and transmissions and instructions. And so it's to these kind lamas from whom you receive these teachings and instructions that we consider our root lamas. And so in this way then we have looked at the root lamas and the lineage lamas.
Yubayinatani, Telatani Garsanatani, Mugi Yapo, Soso Jela, Semjela, Mugi Pinsum Sofa, Mugi Tembo Jita, Mugi Yapotan, Chigioras, Mugi Yapotan, Shargiores, Mugi Yapotan, Jila Sharbayinatani, Jela Zawatan, Jibi, Tarjik Lamag, Chinur to Zotamji, Suzu Jela Lelao, Jiktaviara, that and Rig, Nordenga Gaza, and Richapares,
Nordengi,
no Tantama.
And so starting looking at our root and lineage lamas, then we start and have trusting faith in them. We have trusting faith in our root and lineage lamas, and through that then real devotion, real authentic devotion then easily arises, it naturally arises. And if this is the case, when this naturally arises in our mind stream, if we have this great devotion, this true heartfelt devotion to our root and lineage lamas, then easily the blessings of their blessings will enter our mind stream, and then we will actually become what is called the fortunate individuals, individuals endowed with great fortune.
Teni lamin namjer teni nyamnen chebala thongbo rani teni no tangdamba rani no denga ta soma se gora no denga kansa kora tendre yengu gores pena serk no tawra serk no sena goya serk no taw teni serk no taw chi tane kalsna garang sola no te kandra gore sana teni tapa ta teni mugi ge teni kansa gore serk no taw chi gores Tapata Muki, Tapata Muki, Mena, Lamin Namjur Yamsil and Tugrepes and Tugumares, the Rindita, the Sublam Lamin Namjur, say at the Yamlan Cheba, the Ranyan, Northern Council, the Garsana, Tata, Pata, Muki, the Nikarsana, said not out the Yogubata, as it is.
And so, when we think about being a fortunate disciple, one of these, then having this faith, being endowed with authentic faith and devotion to the root and lineage lamas, is like being a really fortunate disciple. And what does that mean, a fortunate disciple? A fortunate disciple is one who then is like a golden vessel. We have these like precious golden vessels, and one is like a precious golden vessel that can then hold and receive the blessings of such a profound path of practice. And so having faith and devotion towards the root and lineage lamas is like being like a golden like a golden vase.
Tatane Garsana, Tendrigatane, Ranil Tene, Consulatane, Tetsum Gawan the Sombarwa, Tetsum Dang, Yana Tapa Mepadanga, Tendriga Garsana Tani, Tapa Mepata, Ichi Mepa, Atendri in Sombayina, Tatega Garsana Tene, Consulat, Muki Tene, Laminamjur, Lamde Yamna Chetagure Besana, Tugumares, Tendrita, Dokshoko to Mepachigua.
However, when on the other hand, if there is an individual, if there's someone that has a lot of doubt, they have doubt, they have hesitation, they don't have faith or trust. So they wouldn't be able to actually engage in this profound path of Guru Yoga. And so what would they be like? Just like this, ordinary kind of, a vessel, one that is actually not able to take in this profound path. And so actually from being the golden vessel, the fortunate disciple, this is the opposite side of that. And so this is, I've given some examples as it pertains to the practices of Guru Yoga so far. So this practice of the Guru Yoga of Guru Rinpoche is extremely, extremely important practice, especially these days. These days we are in what is considered the degenerate age, the degenerate times. And these are times actually when people are meeting with a lot of difficulties, a lot of obstacles, and so on. So these days when we practice the practice of Guru Rinpoche, this Guru Yoga of Guru Rinpoche, then we, without any doubt at all, with complete faith and trust and no doubt at all, focusing on Guru Rinpoche, who is the embodiment of all the root, the lineage lamas, of all the lamas, having no doubt at all about this, and practicing decisively like this is a really profound practice for these days. And so these days, to clear away obstacles to the path and difficulties along our way, all people these days we're at a time with a lot of difficulties and obstacles that are arising, and there are a lot of different obstacles that arise for people, but these can all be categorized into three categories of outer, inner, and secret obstacles that befall us. And so how can we look these days at what are our outer obstacles, these outer problems that are coming up all around us? Well, in terms of the outer obstacles, then we look at the natural disasters that are coming these days from the imbalance of the elements, the four elements. We have earthquakes, and we have flooding, we have tornadoes, we have like wildfires and things like this. A lot of natural disasters are occurring because the elements in the world are becoming out of balance. So disasters from the four elements would be considered, for example, within the outer obstacles that are occurring these days. And then as for the inner obstacles that we can meet with in the world today, then are things like sicknesses and diseases. And if we look at these also have, have different categories as well. There are things these days that there are some treatments for that can help these sicknesses, and then again, though, there are also things that are incurable. There are incurable diseases these days. They've not yet found medicines that are able to dispel this disease, this sickness, and as well, things are really just increasing in severity. The sicknesses, diseases can be quite severe, and this would be the inner obstacle. And then the secret obstacles, actually, this category is specific to spiritual practitioners in the world today. Things that get in the way of our practice of the Dharma, of being able to, engage somehow, in the spiritual path. It's said that actually, it's important for the mind to turn towards the Dharma. And so these days there's actually a lot of obstacles in the world today that keep this from happening, that keep our minds from turning to the Dharma. And if our minds don't turn to the Dharma, then we won't practice the Dharma. We won't, further, engage in it or look into it. And also some problems can come up for us to prevent us from practicing the Dharma. So these are what would be considered the secret obstacles. And so these are inner, outer, and secret obstacles. And being the degenerate age, actually year by year, they're getting, actually stronger and stronger. They're getting more severe, and they're getting, more in number. They're increasing, and they're also increasing in severity in this time. So there are a lot of obstacles for us. So it is at a time as these, when difficulties can be so strong in the world, then what we need to rely on is we rely on a deity that can dispel the obstacles, a deity, a practice that can dispel obstacles. And so in this case, this would, the practice of the Guru Yoga of Guru Rinpoche is really especially effective with this, especially effective for this, because Guru Rinpoche is said to be the deity that dispels obstacles. And so it's actually through the great compassionate wish and the former wish and aspiration of Guru Rinpoche that was said by Guru Rinpoche that this is the case. And the various Buddhas, actually, they engage in different activities to benefit beings, and they engage in specific, they have their, they engage in specific activities, enlightened activities, according to their individual compassionate wishes to help sentient beings. And so if we take an example of this, the different enlightened activities of the different Buddhas according to their aspirations to benefit beings. So it's, if we take the medicine Buddha, for example, the medicine Buddha had the great compassionate wish and aspiration to help help people who are sick recover from the suffering of illness. And so when we do the medicine Buddha practice and recite the mantra and accomplish the medicine Buddha, then this the focus there is to recover from illness.
특질 요비 점선 텔라티네 레스.
And then as another example, then Vajrasattva is connected with clearing away strong negativity for purifying negativity. And again, in the same way, this is due to Vajrasattva's a great compassion and wish to help beings to do that. And so then if one takes Vajrasattva as their meditational deity and then practices Vajrasattva, then this is a way to purify our negativity. This is the way to clear away negativity and purify this. And so what is the difference here? The difference is that Vajrasattva had this great compassionate wish to help beings in the future with negativity.
특집 다지시바 나준더니 간 요바레 세나다 닝미게 되거든요. 담바당 샘쟁거 더니 다 받치세야라 다 쪽도더니 특집 요바서 거래 무슨 그거가 특집 요바던데 인지다서더니 그런 거지 라민 남절 그거니 냠는데 저도 손들 라서 받아 하던데 지그거니 더니 수로다비다니 냠는 제거야 때에 디치모레스 근데 지송바 있나 더니 공각선 담바당 샘쟁 같으니 다 당선 유미기 뒤라 담바당 샘쟁 그 파르치세비 목설게 특지비 되거든니 특지당 진럽 대랍되니 달리나더니 말아서 같으니 다 상지전이 장 니르와 같은 거더니 니르위 그 특지당 진럽 같으니 말아서 라더니 니바 통거여레스 더니 근지 달리나 파르치세야라 판독거여레스.
So, being times as they are today in the modern world of the degenerate times, then actually Guru Rinpoche had the great wish. His wish was to, in the future times of degeneration, to clear away obstacles for the teachings, obstacles to the teachings, and obstacles for sentient beings and practitioners. And this was the great compassionate wish of Guru Rinpoche to do that in the degenerate times. And so it's actually through our practice of the Guru Yoga of Guru Rinpoche and reciting this practice and reciting the 7-line prayers, especially these days, is really important. And in this way, then, the practice of Guru Rinpoche is there to clear away the obstacles to the teachings and to sentient beings. And if we practice this, then we can receive the compassion and the blessing from Guru Rinpoche to help dispel these very problems. So there is a great power in blessing these days in doing this practice of Guru Yoga of Guru Rinpoche.
근데 그런 거지 라민 남절 냠는 집에 나타니다 당상라서 님이 같은 받친다서 셀리알라다 무슨 그 특지했던 적은 레바요랬어. 리당 몰람 건 레바요라. 딜랍테니 달리나더니 가서 되게 되니 판도당이 받자 전부용비가 받는데스.
And so, if we practice this practice of Guru Yoga, there's a connection. There's a direct connection that we then connect to Guru Rinpoche's compassionate wish to benefit in the degenerate ages, benefit those with obstacles to practice and that have obstacles in our life. So when we actually engage in this practice, then we connect to this former aspiration, this great compassionate former aspiration of Guru Rinpoche.
집당은 당 그런 거지 라민 남절다고 냠는 치가 되라 최상다 다 냠스 렌슬라더니 그래서 전에 가서 그러다 만다 왔던데 this yours.
And so generally speaking then within the practice of Guru Yoga, like there are different many various different ways, traditions, or different ways to engage in this practice.
근데 인다더니 변하더니 니 가서 싸왔던 집이 라마도서 탐치더니 당가라서 묵바 검거로 왔더니 묵바 검이 냠는 집이 가라다 묵바 검비 그 가라 될라돼서 묵바 싸땅 만라와 되겠더니 가서나 검땅 만라와 하다 동네 가서나 더니 가서 라마 찍고 찍으라 찍으시니 라마 톱삭도 집 봐서 그랬더니 톱삭도 집 받아 더니 가서나 더니 다 가서 가서 그랬더니 톰속도 집 봐서나 맨나 남칼라 뜬다 바나지라 더니 그런 부채더니 조 임발라 더니 저지 라마 탐지 당더니 가서 그래 라마에 좀 간로라서 자 심라서 자 상태 남칼라 좀 틈니 여봐 어떻게 남신 되니 가서 그래 늦지 달리나 되니 셋다비 달리나다 냠슬렌 땅다 되니 지간 저에서나 빼나 라마 돌지 셈바 타고지가 빼샤파이나 되니 간서나 되니다 근디 노르웨이르기세 근디 노르웨이르기세 디다서 되니 라마 돌지 셈바텔라 되니 잠니 용스 쪽바 마창와 메바 탐지 찍을란디바 하여튼 그거는 냠슬렌 땅다 리오레스 되니 달레 텔라테니 가서 그래 되니 다 근디 노르웨이르기세네 어떤 데서 그랬어.
And so, for example, if we take the aspect of the practice of Guru Yoga involved in generating our visualization, or the way that we engage in meditating on our visualization, then there are different ways that we can create our visualization, just different traditions of how we actually then build our visualization field. Because there are different ways that we visualize the root and lineage lamas. And so, for example, in one way, then they are built like in a successive stage where you start with the principal lama, for example, Guru Rinpoche, the principal figure, and then they are stacked in a way like this, so they are one on top of another in succession. This is one way of visualizing the root lama and the lineage lamas, or the primary lama of focus, and all of the gurus and the yidams and the dakinis. Another way to do that is that there is the principal guru, and then there is the principal guru, and all around the guru, kind of gathered like clouds, are the lamas, the yidams, and the dakinis. So they're like a cloud-like gathering all around the principal figure. So then there was the stacked like in succession, and then the cloud-like gathering tradition, or a way of visualization. And then also, then if we take, let's say we take Vajrasattva, so in this the next way we can visualize our root and lineage lamas is if we were to take Vajrasattva, for example, as the main figure. It's our meditation and visualization of Vajrasattva. This is called the jewel embodiment of all deities. That we look at Vajrasattva and understand that Vajrasattva is the embodiment of all of the root and lineage lamas, of all, with nothing left out. That this one figure is that completely embodies all the root and lineage lamas, and this is the jewel embodiment of all lamas, the way to visualize. So there are different ways.
묵바 사탕라 다다시바나 진리거든 가서 그래 대만자 같은데 묵바 사탕서거라 라마 곰탕라 된데 요랬더니 드니 가서 그다 라니르더니 네 가서 그랬더니 라용더니 제땅만자 요랬어 끝났더니 몽신 냥픽다 라미 남저 냠는 집이 그 갑텔라 라니르 가르 곰고 라니르 타말와 곰이야 말했더니 에 가서 라니르더니 durji namjirma rani durji namjirma la se gures rani durji namjirma salidale ngo khandro yishin surji yembala namba de karsana tani durji namjirma yemba
ani ngo yeshi tsogya ani dets ani gyokcha songbanda
ngo de tani
yeshi khandro
간도 예치 소리 임발라 남바데 돌지 남저마
올라서
어떤지 지달이나 산다 보레스 데스다 보이 짐세 가르스나 라니 데르통고 노트로마 라니 노르든 만나 라미 칠름 지금 말와 근데 인디 타스더니 진람 니르든 지고 바다 더니 가서 그래 라니 더니 그 라타 데르통고 이시 그 노트로마야 그 템들 때라더니 다타시바 나오던더니 당고 간도 이신 소리 임발라 남바데 돌지 남저마 임바다 든르그 가르스나 산데 보가 든리레스.
And so there are different ways for us to create this visualization field, our field of visualization. And then as well, there are different ways that we that come in these practices. For example, within the Longchen Nyingtik, so then there are different ways that we visualize ourselves as we're creating this visualization field. And then within the Longchen Nyingtik tradition, when we are engaging in Guru Yoga, we don't visualize ourselves, as our ordinary, just our ordinary being, but rather we visualize ourselves as Vajrayogini, who is actually in essence Khandro Yeshit Sogyal, but actually appears as Vajrayogini. And so this is the way that we then go on to create the rest of the visualization. And the reason for this is that it brings us closer to the actual essence of obtaining the blessings and actually realizing this bliss emptiness when we visualize ourselves in this case. As the essence of Yeshit Sogyal, but an aspect of Vajrayogini, it brings us actually closer to receiving the blessings of obtaining the bliss emptiness.
Sudden son de Lami Namjur Tani, Momot Sonang Yores. Tani, Sudden son de Lami Namjur, then don't be a captella, Tanikal Sabatini, Ranil Tamil Nimi, Dunkaras, Ranitani, Tamalwa, Tata Tamalwa Senaka, Tatangaran Soso Kandu, Yopa, Otaranam Jinchini, Tanikal Sanatani, Surgical Lamatos of Tantita, Rangatani, Denji, Namkala, Santavia, Rides.
And however, in the tradition that we've practiced here in the center, then this tradition of the from Mipam Rinpoche of the 7-line supplication, Guru Rinpoche Guru Yoga, then when we use this, when we engage in this practice, then however we visualize ourselves as our ordinary self, and what that means is just how we are. We visualize ourselves as just how we are, so and then we create our visualization.
Shilogla Yapo Sata Hamakona, Semnala Yapotan in Chargamarwa, Bunta Yapo Hakomares. Rinitas, Shilogla Mupa Yapo, Savogini, Satantania, Mupache Tantazo, Savochagana, Hakobaina, Taranamjin, Soso, Semganala and Chartaviata, Semganala Tanita, Gomtaviat and the Chiungures.
And so for us to do, when we're doing this Guru Rinpoche, this Guru Yoga, then it's important, a clear visualization is really essential, an essential part of this practice. As it said, we need to be able to clearly visualize in this practice. So before we can actually have a clear visualization, we first need to know what this looks like for us. And we can't do that if we don't know exactly what we should be visualizing. But however, when we know just what and how we should be visualizing, when we know what it looks like outwardly, then this will actually then clearly be able to arise in our minds. So we have to have a clear understanding of what this visualization looks like, and then this will clearly then arise in our mind. We can generate it. It will just come to our mind.
다 던르게 되니까 상가랑 속에 semnangla 보지니 사고치니 곰시야 곰 대사고 차야 그 당보들라더니 다 간전다 지는 고송고 그랬잖아. 다 당보 소소그 능그 남갔다 올라더니 그런 무지 탕카자로 왔더니 그런 무지 탕카다 오자. 아니 탕카들랑 그런 무지 그소다 간저지그랬는데 창생 간린데 그러와. 도도 탐칠라야 보지니 뭐봐 달리달리나 던지달리나더니 dellatene shama din sejigla tenru latene nita mukbatali dalina tendrina nyamne che sombayina teni tanga gumula kar yopa namjeng tene kaso grata suso tene semna la shartabya tendri yongre tene gumsa de tendrechi dalina tene gumgo gres.
So in order to train in this so that it can we can really visualize it clearly in our mind, then what we can do, it said that we can take, for example, a tanka, a representation of Guru Rinpoche, and we can actually use this as like a meditational support to look at it and look exactly, and oh, this is what Padmasambhava looks like. The posture is like this. The ornaments are like this. The what are the hand ornaments and what's in the hands and how they're held is like this, and we actually use that. We keep looking at it, we meditate, and we look at the tanka, and for 7 days use the tanka. And it said that if you use the tanka, daily and continue your meditation, looking at this, then after this point, then even without the tanka, then this image of Guru Rinpoche will just appear in your mind.
사제 던졌더니 무파사다고 요랬어. 소소 사제 주제더니 사제가 던더니 사제 던더고 던좀 소파되게 땅라데 연락 잡된 게 치러와. 치요 봐. 던져고 그랬더니다. 쳇대더니서 딜레트니 메토파미게 동보러 왔더니 왔던데 지달이나 나다 무파 사다 그만다고 세 그래. 던지다. 대상도 땅 그랬어.
And so then, what you can do, for example, then, all of this, when you look at a tanka, you will see all of the different aspects of what is visualized with Guru Rinpoche and around Guru Rinpoche. For example, there is the water or the lake that is endowed with the 8 qualities, with the 8 excellent qualities. And so if we're just looking, outwardly in the sky, without anything like any support, tanka of support, so we don't see that. But if we first look at a tanka, you can look at a tanka and you'll see, that lake or that water with the 8 qualities represented in that tanka. And if you're looking at it then every 7 days, then you can really focus on what does that aspect of the tanka look like, the 8 endowed, the 8 quality endowed lake and so on. And actually this is the same when it comes to all the different accoutrement and other aspects of Guru Rinpoche visualization as well.
파트네 무파세 타부레스 니 그름부치했더니 다 쪼된 그름부치라와 쪼된 그름부치인데 디근 탕커들라더니 가르스나 짤지그 라마탐지 찐텀바 넘진 드니 자와당 지빌라마더니 라마이덤 컨트롤라 소바다 탐제데 쯤바 넘진 남칼라 쯤바 타바 넘진가 어떤데더니 니 요삼이다 던저게더니 무파데 던저세 타부요 바레스.
So again, all those aspects, learn to clearly visualize them. The 8-petaled lotus, the water endowed with the 8 qualities, And so learn, all those aspects of the visualization, and then also, then we have the principal figure. The principal figure then is Guru Rinpoche. Then we would visualize principally Guru Rinpoche and all those different aspects that you'll see in the Tanka. And then surrounding Guru Rinpoche in the cloud, like the cloud-like gathering tradition of visualization, visualize the lamas, the yidams, and the dakinis, all surrounding the principal figure of Guru Rinpoche. So visualize this in the sky before you, in the space before you.
Ni lama tsuung rinpoche tege teni ta teni chansen dang cha ila dorji dang ila to napa la so ta tege teni karsana sidin son de korang la min namjir ke tu zu na la ta me pa gon tang rinpoche ke chansen dang cha sang pa song yo res teni indi ta zo ta nam sin teni sat ta ta teni ni teni karsana teni uringi long ni de chen zipshen bar sere nam kala teni karsana uringi gi long la shi pa teni ro teni uringi gi long la shi gi teni conseguire tenita sosola teni tsewi gone teni zikpa ta tenrigo mu bache gores
di tamadi ani surpocho so onda
di urni long ni zikpa sere di urni long ni dechen zipshen bar sera korte tsaksam jamso tunter to urni long ni teni dechen ga zipshen bar urni long la zikpa ul sena katok karbo marbo hago son ul nga yora ozer gulong la zikpa garmoche kawa ozer gulong la zikpa ni korte ta tsaksam jamso tunter to ta tarang repsi jamba tsawa sam ga teni tumba taba nam jin teni jugyo ba a teni chikin ni teni ka ndenla teni rani ke kanse gore teni chang chalwa dang chupan balwa la so para teni chida dina teni yanla damba la so go ni korang teni ta tela jarni yores teni chida tiga go ni teni ta nyamnan che ne tsigdun sur ndep tang panzan gore go teni rangi dalina ta teni go teni ta nyamnan che gores.
So you can see, so then the principal deity, then also we learn to visualize the principal deity here of Guru Rinpoche with all of the hand implements as well, the Vajra, any hand implement, all of the hand implements, and so create this in your visualization as well. As well as the place of Uddiyana, the pure land of Uddiyana, and you can actually read this within the Guru Rinpoche sadhana practice that we have. It's all described in the lines. So the land of Uddiyana, and Guru Rinpoche dissolving or coming from the five-colored or in five-colored lights. And also then this is, I think Rinpoche, I wasn't sure about this, but this is also in the sadhana in regards to the root and lineage lamas as well, and the guru, the yidams and the dakinis. So this is in there as well. And then next comes the prostration. So you create the visualization completely, and then the next step is there is prostration, there's refuge, going for refuge, and then the 7 branch prayer, and then it goes into the mantra and so on, the different steps in the practice sadhana. And so first, when we do this Guru Yoga, so we clearly establish our visualization, and next comes the stage of our offering of the 7 branch prayer, where we engage in the different steps, such as prostration and offerings and so forth, and then we accumulate the 7-line supplication, and so we sit for some time reciting the 7-line supplication.
안전거를 잠깐 싸와 안전거를 잠깐 싸 던데 지달이나 드니 다 도저 냠는 집이기 지달라더니 지용서 뭐와래스 게자데 족샹라더니 다 센전탐 제그더니 상지고마 토비기 쳇다 드니 가르스나더니 뭐와 나고래스 뭐와 제거래스.
And so we recite the mantra, Om Benzo Guru mantra, and we gather the accumulation of reciting that. And when we have finished reciting that, then we reach the stage of the excellent dedication at the conclusion, when we take these roots of virtues that have been gathered and then we dedicate them to limitless sentient beings who are beyond number, so that they may all achieve the perfect enlightenment state of Buddhahood, then we dedicate our roots of virtue. And the practice of Guru Yoga that we have been engaging in has been this, we spoke about the preparation, the main part, and the conclusion, and our practice of the Guru Yoga itself was the main part.
근데 이제 다서 들로 세통장 저비는 거는 냠는 망바에나 더니 썸든 다닥되는 저 그래서 더니 아랑라양 판토바 전 심진 탐질라양 판토바라 아라시 니가라 판토바 어떤지 용 그랬던 저그 가르스나 더니 그놈 더니 심지 자침보당 더니 그놈 남바를 딱 봐고 보니 냠는 제거야다 던지레스.
And there are really incredible blessings from our practice of this devotional Guru Yoga practice. And actually, this is something that we should have absolutely, no doubt about. And it's as it said, that when there is no doubt, then whatever one wishes for will be accomplished. One can accomplish all of one's wishes. When one is separated from any doubts, all that one wishes for can be accomplished. And so being free from doubt in this way and engaging in our practice, the blessings that if we can achieve whatever it is that one wishes for, then if we think about it, then we can accomplish the purpose, the great benefit for ourselves and a great benefit for others. And this bodhicitta, including this bodhicitta of this intention, is another point that we have to remember is very important. And so, what it is that's important for us to know or know these three steps. We have this first, a first step of the preparation, this bodhicitta we have just mentioned that is so important. We have the main stage of our practice, and then we have dedication. So these three, the intention of bodhicitta, the main practice, and then the dedication of our roots of virtue, the sealing with the dedication at the conclusion. And if actually this is clear to us as practitioners, this is a really important point. For this to be clear to us as practitioners is really important. And so if the three stages have become clear for us, and also knowing the reason, knowing the understanding the three stages and knowing the reason of why these are important and how these three stages work, through this actually then we will gain trusting faith. This is where trusting faith starts, and if we have trusting faith, it's from trusting faith that devotion arises. Actually, this unwavering devotion will arise in one's mind stream.
아니 나랑 속에 질라 무기 편성 속바 무기 요 매바지 차바이나 다다지 제크 공바 남신 그 제크는 송바다 때더니 요멜 무기 다트기 도진 창가 사토미를 송다가 다다가 남신 가르스나 때니 요마스바 마레스 된적이 있다서 된적이 때니 가르스나니 이 가서 그랬더니다 니바당 진압 전부를 했어.
And as we mentioned earlier, as it was said in the Tantras, that with unwavering devotion, if one has unwavering devotion for 6 months, then one can attain the state of Vajradhara. And so, actually, with this unwavering faith, it's it's not possible that the blessings will not enter, that this will not bring us great blessings. This is impossible. If one has this devotion, unwavering devotion, then one will gain there are great powers and blessings that one will receive.
rinpoche kansabar, ta sosogo, ta muki pansum sopa yuwa me payo, tege tenjong tela, teni tali na tani, kansabar, tsen te tang yang na parto ra watan, tsen de yang na parto yang na chiya chima la sopa la, ta kansabar tani, ta lami jisu zong sagora, lami ge jisu zong tali na, tanda chi tali na, tani muki kona ge cholwa ase, tani muki ge cholwa, ta tani yong ge yo pares tani.
And so 6 months is not too long of a time, right? That's, pretty close. That's, not too far away. And so, really, if we generate this, this a perfect, unwavering devotion, then, we go from, whether it's this life. So through this, gaining liberation in just, 6 months, that's not too long. But, be it this life or in the bardo, or in our next life, actually, following after this practice of devotional practice to the Lama, then this is how we can gain a liberation through devotion alone.
Rechidelina, Dini Deviga Lamla, Teni, a consequent tenita, Muki Konaga, Antony Turanjevata, Tendiga Muki Laminam Jersey, Terangaran Sogishiba de Carsana, Laminam Jersey at Nimlanchia, Cortelatini, and Dordiva Sam de Shivares, Teranga Sajayang Tese, Tarambon Yungita, Musirkiti, Chatting of Hachi or Maris, Inata, Digu Cortelatin, Shosho Sam and Richi Shiva Yins.
And so in this way, moving towards, with our Guru devotion, moving in this way to the point, to a liberation through devotion is the path from happiness to happiness. In this way, we just go on from one stage of happiness to happiness. And so this is how we do this in regards to the practice of Guru Yoga, of devotion, this practice of devotion to the Guru. And so as we've come from a little bit of a distance today, I've come from a little bit of distance today, and it was a travel day. I've not prepared anything really in depth, but so this is what I have to offer you today briefly, an explanation on how to practice Guru Yoga.
ini kaso ta chu sheba ta chu nyemba la so ba ta ngarang so ga den gen chen ni ta gibi ge tsawa to so tam che de jing hu wi ge seng go res jing hu wa de ta ji shiba ba ngarang so ga rang ge don ge che la nyem nan ji ba ma yin ba ta sem jin tham je ge don la de ni ka nyem nan ji de ge sa de sem jin tham je de so ji ge 고마 도비기 제도 사 도비기 제도다 후위기 뜻을 맞지 제거래서 다데 지후와 담바서 지후위기 뜻은 거야 돼 기침불에서.
And so, as I mentioned just very briefly, we have this, the excellence of sealing in with the dedication at the conclusion. So now we have the dedication of the roots of virtue that have been gained from whether it's teaching the Dharma and listening to the Dharma. Now we dedicate those roots of virtue. And again, in this final stage, the dedication at the conclusion, then what we need to remember is we remember that we are not practicing solely for ourselves, but we are practicing for the purpose of all sentient beings without exception to gain the enlightenment state of Buddhahood. And for this reason, we now take these roots of virtue that have been gained and we dedicate, and this is very important. And so we dedicate these roots of virtue so that they don't become exhausted. In sealing in with the dedication at the conclusion, then these roots of virtue will not go to waste. They will not be exhausted, but rather they will further and further increase. They will further increase until, in an unceasing way, until the stage of Buddhahood is obtained. And so now please recite the dedication.
Page number 36. Blauw blaadje. Page number 42. Chancho Rinpoche, Magye Pana Yegyoche, Geba Nyamba Mebaya, Kone Gondo Pewa Sho, Kone Tawa Rinpoche, Magye Pana Yegyoche, Geba Nyamba Mebaya, Kone Gondo Pewa Sho, Kunchan Doje Chanche Mechene, Tenche Chale Lama Yenche Rowe Tendo Mena Gandapa, Teda Tamshi Daki Drupa Sho. Page 49. Kunke Yeshe Cherke Kesala, Eshe Techo Chopa Chemperla, Mabe Lindro Keken Serajo, Guru Yampion Jeshon Metroto. Riche Tempo Tragna Limpai, Trupe Kuna, Nakagyo Sola, Sova Depso Kutseke Kyaso, Trodro Kove Nene Rimpacho, Duji Zitu Repa Jinjelo. Page number 76. Kari Rave Kove Shinkam Su Bendan Dewa Madu Jungwe Ne Chele Sewa Tenzin Gyatso Ye Shape Shite Baidu Tenjoshi Kari Rave Kove Shinkam Su Bendan Dewa Madu Jungwe Ne Chele Sewa Tenzin Gyatso Ye Shape Shite Baidu Tenjoshi Kari Rave Kove Shinkam Su Bendan Dewa Madu Jungwe Ne Chele Sewa Tenzin Gyatso Ye Shape Shite Baidu Tenjoshi Nama Kukang Sangwa Sowade Choto Koche Ringwa Sowade Rinle Tashe Jeba Sowade Nama Dangrewa Mepa Jingye Latu So I pray that the Lama's health be excellent, may the Lama's life be most long, may his enlightened activities flourish and spread, may I never be separate from him, and may he always bless me. Ik bid dat de Lama's gezondheid uitstekend zal zijn, mogen de Lama's leven lang zijn, mogen zijn verlichte activiteiten bloeien en verspreiden, mogen ik nooit van hem gescheiden zijn, mogen hij mij altijd zegenen. We move completely to the front of the prayer book. Nandra Kritsun Nana Chukuna Kuta Yesha Rupa Chamlepa Satsan Najo Champen Yamnana Yalme Toki Tekle Oshisho Kewa Kundu Yanda Lamata Reme Cheke Pela Lunche Satsan Namke Yenten Rapsodni Tashe Sangye Kopa Noto Pso Om Benza Sato Samaya Manopalaya Benza Sato Tenoka Tishiki Yamaba Subakaya Mababa Subakaya Mababa Anoraka Mababa Sarvasiddhi me payatsa savakama susam Sridam Sriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 O Bhagavan Savatata Kata Pensabhami Musebe Jivama Samaya Sato Tesum Sangye Guru Rinpoche Nudru Kunda Dewa Champocha Pache Kense Dende Trapoche Sova Depso Jingye Laptosa Tina Save Pache Shivata Sampa Linge Drupa Jingye Lo Tesun Sangye Guru Rinpoche Nudru Kanda Dewa Champocha Pache Kense Dende Trapoche Sova Depso Jingye Laptosa Tina Save Pache Shivata Sampa Linge Drupa Jingye Lo Tesun Sangye Guru Rinpoche Nudru Kanda Dewa Champocha Pache Kense Dende Trapoche Sova Depso Jingye Laptosa China Save Pache Shivata Sampa Linge Drupa Jingye Lo Pame Aum Benzra Guru Pema Siddhi Om Ame Aum Benzra Guru Pema Siddhi Ome Aum Benzra Guru Pema Siddhi Om Aum Benzra Guru Pema Siddhi Om Aum Benzra Guru Pema Siddhi Om. Welcome back.